Hello everyone, and welcome back to another pick a card. Today we're doing a little fun, more on the quick side pick a card. It's going to be what people's first impression is of you. So it's always kind of fun to know, I wonder what they thought of me when they first met me. And hopefully it's, good. Hopefully you make good first impressions, which I know you all do. So today we do have 7. I know, 7. I asked my higher self how many. I heard 7. I said, "Are you sure?" And then it said yes. So here we go. We've got 7 decks, so we're gonna hop right into it. Go with your intuition. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Get these cute stones out of the way. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and get started with group 1. So, let's see what you got. Excuse me. We have the 5 of Swords from my beautiful new Spellcasters Tarot deck. The Sun. And the Wheel of Fortune. So, and I also pulled some other cards. I was called to pull from my Life's Purpose deck. So that's why I got these. So these will sort of help in what people's first impressions of you, and you got Artist. So perhaps people's first impression of you is you are very creative and an artist. So I think people really see that fire in you, and I think they feel like you've got it pretty put together. You seem like a pretty happy, kind, well-balanced person who goes after their wants, their desires, and their dreams. And I think you inspire the people that you meet to do the same. They see that you're a fighter. Definitely a fighter. And definitely happy and growing something, a life for yourself. Because if you are an artist, usually that's an unconventional field to go into, and there's the whole starving artist aspect. But you're making it work, and people are seeing that when they meet you, and I think they're impressed. And I also I pulled the Oracle deck for the overall energy that you put out, and you received 14, communication. The frequency of communication supports our ability to exchange information in many different forms. It reminds us to run every piece of information, both incoming and outgoing, through our heart, the center of our truth, to stay in the flow of source and balanced exchange. Excuse me. So I think you I can't talk. Communicate with people very well, and I think their impression of you is you're very articulate, artistic. You got it together. I think you give off a pretty good first impression. So that was group 1. I don't know if you'll know if it resonates with you unless you ask somebody. But if you'd like to book a personal reading, you can do so by following the link in the description below. And we're going to move on to group number 2. Hello, group 2. We're going to see what people's first impressions of you are. So we're going to show you your cards. You got the World. Look at that beautiful artwork. and Hermit, as well as the Nine of Cups. And we also have Author. So people might see you as someone who's really good with their words, or written or verbal. They might see you as a bit of a recluse, but I think they also see that you're kind of like a hard worker. And like group 1, I think they see that you're going after what you want, even though you might be sort of... We're here with the whole hermit author vibe. Definitely get a introvert vibe. So I think people sort of sense that you're not really up to hanging out with people for too long. Probably shorter conversations. I'm assuming small talk is not your favorite. And it's not mine either. I think they might see you as a little bit distant, but I still think that they pick up on that kindness that you have, and you have like that bit of mystery. And so we've also pulled the overall energy that you give off, and it is 35, Perception. The frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a good, hard, deep look at it. So I think definitely you have that that fly on the wall vibe where you're just sort of taking it all in. I think this is more me too. I resonate with this. Aloof but there when you need to. Also, but not giving off that sad aloof vibe. Giving off that happy aloof vibe. So I hope that reading, like I said, group 1, don't know if it resonates with you unless you ask the people that you meet. Hey, what'd you think of me? Take a little poll. We'll find out. If you'd like to book a personal reading, please do so with the link down below. And we're going to move on to group 3. Hello, group 3. We're moving through this pretty quick. So, let's see what people's overall impression is of you. You received the 5 of Cups. I'm getting a little bit of a dramatic vibe off the bat. That's not a bad thing. We've got 2 of Cups and 7 of Swords. And we also have flowers. Okay. So, people's first impression of you. I think you're pretty outgoing. I feel like they feel like you're pretty outgoing. I think they get a little bit of a oddball, weird, maybe even a flower child hippie vibe off of you. You're definitely not, let's say, like a normie type person. You're different, you stand out, and that's good. Yeah, I just think they get a very, oh, that person's different, but not in a bad way. They see you as very balanced and sort of peaceful, but also a little bit, kind of a little bit all over the place. I'm sure you're cracking jokes, and then you can talk politics, and then you can talk like music and TV. So you seem like very balanced, and they're kind of like surprised at all of the various aspects of you, because they have this first impression of you being like a, you know, kind of like a hippie weirdo is what I'm getting. But weirdos are good. I mean, we're all weirdos. Okay. It reminds me of that, sorry, that that show Riverdale. I tried to watch it. It's a terrible show. Sorry for those who like it. But there's this one little, I don't know if it's called a meme, but it's like a little gif of, what's his face? The one with the crown beanie. And he's like, I'm a weirdo. I'm weird. And that's you. And that's most of us. And that's okay. Okay, and so we've got, this card's going to tell us your overall energy that you sort of put out. And we've got 2, sacral chakra. The frequency of the sacral chakra, the orange flower of life, supports our ability to flow with our desires and stimulates our creative power to manifest success and abundance in our life. So I think people also pick up on this. And like the sacral is also key for your like passions and creativity. So I think you're a very creative person, which is why people might think you're a little different or weird. You might have like a very unique style. And I think that's the first thing that people notice, and people do tend to judge. It's hard not to, but they do, and your clothes do give off a vibe, but you always prove them the opposite of what they think. So I hope that reading resonated with you. If you'd like to book a personal reading, you can do so on my website, and the link is in the description below. We're going to go ahead and move on to group 4. Hello, group 4. Let's find out what people's first impressions are of you. So we've got Judgment. I love this card. So pretty. Excuse me. We've got the Star. Wow, you've got all major arcanas here. And the Fool. I love these cards. Okay. And we've also got Builder. So, I think people's first impression of you is you don't care what other people think about you. You do you. 100%. And you might look like a fool at some times, not knowing what you're doing, but you don't care. If you want it, you go for it. And I think people see that, and they see that you're building this, you're building your own reality, and you're a very stable person. And I do feel like a lot of people admire you as well. Like when they first meet you. You might even, I'm getting like a well-known person vibe. You might even have like a little bit of a following on somewhere on social media, but a lot of people, sorry, there's fingerprints. A lot of people are definitely taken with you when they first meet you, and you might be like physically very attractive, but also mentally attractive, and that you're very secure with yourself, you're confident, you know what you want, you go after it. And so here we have the overall energy that you put out to others around you, or into the world, whatever. And you got 1, root chakra. The frequency of the root chakra, the red flower of life, stimulates passion and supports our sense of security on this physical plane, both in our bodies as well as in the physical world. So you're very stable and secure in yourself and what you want, and you put that out there and you get it back. So that was a pretty easy, straightforward reading. Thank you for tuning in. If you'd like a personal reading, you can book one on my website, and the description will be down below. Oops. Alright, here we are to group 5. Let's find out what people's first impressions are of you. We got the Hierophant. Look at that card. Those colors. The 7 of Cups. and the Six of Cups. And we've also got Speaker. I'm getting like a student or a teacher vibe off of you. I think people's first impressions of you is that you've got a lot of knowledge, that you like to spit at people, so to say. Sorry, I'll never say that again. Okay, so I think people see you as a very knowledgeable person. I think you're very eloquent in the way that you speak with people. I think you get along with a lot of people. And you just have easy conversations. And I think people really, really enjoy that. You're very easy to speak to and to talk to and hang out with. And you have, just a lot of information up in that brain that people are very impressed with. And people like having conversations easily, and you definitely help facilitate that. So I think your overall impression that you give off is very easygoing, friendly person who is easy to get along with and talk with. I think people really enjoy your company. And so here we have your overall vibe that you give off is 36, prosperity. The frequency of prosperity supports our feeling of well-being by allowing the inclusion of everything that makes our body, mind, heart, soul, and spirit sing. It invites us to express ourselves in joy and celebration of the abundance and riches that the universe provides. So I think you're very prosperous in maybe physically wealthy, or also definitely with your knowledge, you are expansive in that aspect. So I hope that reading resonated with you. I don't know. I keep saying that, but it doesn't really work because I don't think you guys really would know if it did or not, unless you asked your close friends what they thought of you when they first met you. But if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on my website, and the link will be in this description below. And we're going to go ahead and move on to Group 6. Hello, Group 6. So we're going to find out what your what first impressions you give off. So we have the Nine of Wands. Look at that card a little bit longer. Look at her face. Because I feel like that might be you. And we've also got the Eight of Swords. And the Page of Cups. And we have family. Okay, so I'm getting a bit of a social anxiety vibe, which I can totally relate. I feel like you definitely don't very much enjoy meeting new people or even going outside of your house. Again, can relate. I found out this was because I am an empath, and that might be you too. You might just be unknowing of this, or you do know and you're working on it, because I think you're working on it with this Page of Cups. You're sort of revving yourself up emotionally, mentally, to be able to handle meeting people, being around them for longer periods of time, talking with them. But I think you're a bit more on the shy. I say that because I don't like that word. I think you're just more, I think you are probably an empath, and so you're just sort of shut down. And people see that when they first meet you. Oh, she's quiet, you know, or he. Sorry, I'm relating here. So, I think you're more on the reserved side. You don't really make too many conversations. A good, oh, hi, I'm good, how are you? And then you sort of just want them to leave you alone after that. And they pick it up, definitely. So, that a little aloof vibe. Family, I think people see that you're probably close to your family, or you might have a family. Maybe this is why people come up to you with other kids and try to start talking with you, making that connection. But I think right now you're more focused on your family than really sort of trying to get past this, which you are. With the Page of Cups, I think you're trying to get better at it for the sake of your family as well, so that you can sort of hang out with, you know, the kids' parents and stuff. And so we have the overall vibe that you put out, and you got 19, delight. The frequency of delight supports our capacity to create and experience feelings of intense joy and happiness. The more delight we feel, the more delight we invoke in others. So I think when you are comfortable enough with people, they get to see that side of you better, and it's contagious. I think it's more on the rare side for now that they see it, but I think you will get out of it. It's just going to take some time. You're in this place for a reason, and you'll learn how to sort of work your way around these uncomfortableness and what's the word? Anxiousness. So I thank you for tuning in. And if you'd like a personal reading, you can book one on my website, and the link will be in the description down below. Okay, group 7, hello. We've reached the final group. So let's find out what people's first impressions of you are. We have the Ace of Wands. I know that was kind of like whoosh. And we have the Knight of Pentacles. Look at that. Is he riding a squirrel? What? And Death. People get afraid of this card, but it's a pretty good card. And we also have Infinite Abundance. So, let's see. I think people's first impressions of you are that you have, I want to say, a lot of new, different ideas that people maybe haven't really thought of, or new ways of thinking that you like to express and implement in your conversations with people, especially new people. I get a feeling this might be more of like this spiritual side. You're sort of like waking people up with your conversations, like you're getting them to think. And it's really, really great to think. Let me tell you, when you get those wheels a turning in there, it feels good. Because some people just mindlessly go to work and do their tasks, and they don't really get a lot of stimulation and stimulating conversation and thoughts. And I think you do that for them. And you're just sort of, I don't know, I see them. The impression is that you're very strong-headed, you have a good head on your shoulders, and you don't really let things sort of keep you from your your path and your way of thinking. Like, I feel like you're very upbeat and positive, and it takes a lot to really bring you down. And I think, yeah, they see you're very, like, abundant with not only physically, but, like, mentally, emotionally. You're a very enjoyable person to be around. And I think you give off a pretty good first impression. Yeah, I think you have very good conversations with people. And so here we have our overall energy that you put off or put out. And you got 18, Cosmic Flower. The frequency of Cosmic Flower activates our remembrance of the place we call home, the core of which we pour our magnificence out into the world. So that kind of goes along with what I was saying, where you just converse in a way that, like, sparks something in people. And I think that's part of your path. You're like that light that ignites other people's lights. It's like a baton handoff, but like a candle lighting handoff. I know that was a bad analogy, but you get the point, right? Okay, so I hope that you enjoyed that reading, Group 7. And if you would like to book a personal reading, you can do so on my website, and the link will be in the description down below. Once again, I thank you all for tuning in. You are the bee's knees, and until next time, goodbye.